I'm wrapping up this letter that I wrote you. Maybe it's the only way to cut through. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. Though it hurts, I only wish you blessings. When intuition talks, you gotta listen. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. 'Cause you build me up to break me down. Never respect the love you found. And I had a voice inside the back of my mind. I always knew it deep down. You don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh, no looking back this time. 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 Running from the truth was getting reckless. In your arms I never felt protected. Oh. 'Cause you don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh. No looking back this time. 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 No looking back this time.
Evening. I hope everybody is well today. I got a good show for you today. Lots of good vibes. Going to be trying to interact with people today as well because I want to get your opinions on a couple of things. Also, I may well have sorted out the things so I can see who's a member and who's not a member, but we'll see. If anyone does leave a super chat or does become a member, can you please let me know if I missed them out, because I don't want to miss anybody out. I don't want to miss out any new subscribers and all of that jazz. Okay. So what is happening then? So I did a show this afternoon I did about 40 minutes, I think, in the end. And I just kind of broke it down in 3 in, 3 out, 3 out, 3 in. Yeah, that's kind of how I broke it down. And since that happened, there's been lots and lots of news that's come out about a number of players. Interestingly enough, one of them was Canate, one of them was Rodrigo, one of them was Luis Diaz. So it looks like Liverpool are continuing to carry on with their transfer business. I don't actually think the business is going to be done like in the next couple of days. I think it's going to probably take another week or two, because I think Liverpool will want to hold off because of the Diogo Jota situation. I think they're the type of club that are classy enough to just bide their time by a couple of days or weeks, just to make sure that that's all passed on, passed by, and all of the respects have been given. And I feel like that's what will happen. But I still feel like journalists are going to talk, clubs are going to make bids, and things are going to continue. But I don't think the announcements are going to happen about players that we've signed until Liverpool want that to be right. Like, and that's the right thing to do. Let's all be honest. That's the right thing to do. Like, you can't have something that catastrophic happen at a club, and then the next day you then announce a new player. Like, that's cold. That's something that Liverpool wouldn't do. That's stuff that other clubs would do. Like, like play rapists in their midfield for like the last 2 years. Like, that's the kind of stuff that other clubs do. Like, so for me, I think that's important. I also think what else is really important as well, and I want to get your point of view on this as well, is that we don't like for like replace Jota. Like, we just get a player in, yeah, and the player will be there to replace another player. And I think maybe we go from 6 attackers down to 5, just as a real clear picture that we haven't replaced him because he's irreplaceable. Like, what happened was not meant to happen. Like, he still should be there. So I feel like that's the thing Liverpool will do, and we won't go for 3, and we'll probably just go for 2. So we might lose 3 or 4 attackers, but I think we'll just get 2 in. Like, and it looks pretty obvious who they're going to be. Like, it really does. 100%. Like, it is. It's crass, and we're just class. Also, I want to big up Red Gaz, cool. Become a member. Appreciate you joining the Rebels. Appreciate you joining the Rebels, and you're going to enjoy the show on Sunday at 9 o'clock, because it's called Football and Rabbit Holes, and it's part 2. And if you want to ask some of the other members in the chat how good the first episode was, you can go and check it out, because now you'll remember. It's behind the paywall, but you can go and check it out now. Not now. You can go and check it out when I've finished. Obviously, you're not going to do it now, but you can do it when I've finished. And you'll like it. You'll like it, okay? What else have we got? Let's do a couple of shout-outs. I'm in a good mood, okay? So big up James. Here we go, La. That's my new one. That's my one. I coined it. You also named it, by the way. Liverpool Goals TV, big up. TK Walter, big up. LFC Fan 73, big up. Quigzer, said that right? Quigzer, big up. John, good to have you here, Mr. Wah. Polo Mint seem to be everywhere. Like your wife probably does want you into the living room sometime to like maybe say hello. because you've been on every single channel I've actually been on. I took mine to the pub for a drink this afternoon. So, and I've also just been watering the neighbour's garden with her. So, you know, sometimes you need to pull out the big up Den, big up Simon, big up David, big up Register, big up Colin. Please keep the comedy. Please keep the comedy, Colin. Don't let it go. Keep the comedy. Squiggly, Burton. There you go. There's the recommendation. First episode was brilliant. Big up, James. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my COVID-19 conversation that lasted about 20 minutes. That was an interesting rabbit hole to go down. Big up, Macau. And also big up, Daryl. And also, Mezzy. Hope you're well, Mezzy. So, 83 of you in the house. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe, please do. Really helps. Always good to get about 100 plus on the algorithm for likes. So just go and do it quickly. It's easy. It's free. I'm not asking you to do much. Just click a button. So 82 of you in here. If all of you could hit it, that'd be great. And then potentially it would get up to 100, and that'll be nice. Okay. That's all I ask for anybody. That's all I ask anybody to do when they come and see my show. Just press the like button. That's all. Whenever I watch any show on YouTube, I always hit the like button. It's just a recognition of the fact that you viewed their show. Yeah. Also, big up Podge. Big up Paul. And also big up John 50. Hope you are well. And you also like drum and bass. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Nearly 100 of you in here. So let's start things off. Right. Where do we begin? Okay. So if you didn't check out my show this afternoon, I talked about the rest of our transfer business and the fact that it's been pretty simple. Like it's not been a complicated saga. Like we've had our targets and we've gone and executed them perfectly. In Wirtz, Frimpong, Kerkez, Mamadashvili, executed perfectly. Yeah. I also mentioned the fact that Wirtz was an opportunist signing. Yeah. And then I mentioned that Rodrigo will be an opportunist signing. He will not have been a signing which was down to happen. He wouldn't have. Okay. And I'm going to share some stuff in a minute. Okay. So you can drop it in the chat if you want, but I'm going to share some stuff in a minute. But the Rodrigo signing is going to be a replacement for another player. Okay. I don't know whether Wirtz is a replacement for Diaz. Like, I don't know whether that is what that is, because Wirtz can play left side. Wirtz is an attacking left-sided player. That's what he's done all his career. I don't know whether I can put my finger on that and say that is what that is, because at Liverpool, it's always been one in, one out. We don't seem to be stacking players like Chelsea's, and Arsenal are doing that as well, and Manchester United's. And, you know, you get teams that stack players and they have multiple positions, multiple players, and you're like, where's he going to play? Like, is he ever actually going to get a game? So I'm looking at Liverpool as one in, one out, like one out, one in, whatever way you want to spin it. So is Wirtz the Diaz replacement? That's the question, because in my eyes, he's not replaced anybody. Like, he's not replaced Elliott, because Elliott's still there, unless Wirtz is the Elliott replacement and Elliott goes. But we got him in without one going out, if that makes sense. So you have to look at it like this. So if Wirtz is the Diaz replacement, yeah, then you have, say you get your Isaac or Ekitike, yeah, and that's your Nunes replacement. So is Rodrigo the Chiesa replacement? That's the question. And then if Elliot goes, then Elliot just goes. Like, there's no replacement because he wasn't a first team player. Like, I don't know. Like, where do we sit with that? Or do we sit with the fact that Rodrigo will be an extra player or Wirtz is an extra player? Because you have to look at it in that situation. Like, Wirtz isn't replacing Dominic Szoboszlai because Dominic Szoboszlai is still there. Wirtz isn't replacing Curtis Jones because Curtis Jones is still there. Like, so he would replace Diaz if Diaz goes. And the reason I want to say that is because there's a lot of stuff that's being talked about saying that the Diaz situation will impact Rodrigo. But I don't think it will. And this is what I'm trying to get across. I don't think that will, because I think Wirtz is just an extra player that we've signed. That's what I see it as. I see him just as an extra player. And he may even be the Thiago replacement because we never replaced him. That's the question. That's how I want to propose that. Okay. So he might play on the left, by the way. I know you're saying he won't play on the left. He might play on the left. Like, if we don't get Rodrigo and Diaz goes, we haven't replaced Diaz. Yeah. So Wirtz may play on the left. So he might actually be the left-sided winger. And then you've got Cody as backup, like it was with Diaz. And then we carry on where we were with Dominic Szoboszlai in the 10, and then you've got another player, potentially Isaac or Ekitike in the 9. That's how I look at that one. So how do you feel with that? Do you feel it's one in, one out? Or do you feel we're just getting players on top? Like, just as an extra player? Because Wirtz hasn't replaced anybody yet. He's not replaced a player yet. He's an extra player we signed. Frimpong has replaced Trent. Kirkes hasn't replaced anybody yet. He's an extra player. So we're increasing the squad size by 2. We're increasing the squad size by 2 by signing Kirkes and by signing Wirtz. So this is the conversation we need to have now, is who is leaving and who is replacing them, or is nobody leaving, or maybe they are leaving and we're not replacing them because we've got 2 extra. Okay, so let's have a look at some news, which might clear some of this up. I don't know. Right. Oh my God, it's gone glitchy again. Hang on, I'm going to have to just take my camera off 2 secs. Okay, I'm just taking my camera off for a sec because it just went glitchy. All right. So I'm just going to talk and I'm going to share some stuff. Okay. So let's share some things that we discovered today. Okay. So we're talking about potential incomings. Okay. Okay. This was today. Real Madrid and Rodrigo's camp will discuss about future from next week. Decision will be up to Rodrigo, as Real Madrid are open to accept exit if the player decides to leave. Okay, this has escalated since this came out earlier on today. Okay, so this is already escalated. So this has now gone from potential to Real Madrid are open to let Rodrigo leave. Okay. And it's gone even further than that to another level, which is it this one? Oops, no, it's not this one. Hang on. I need to remove that, and I'm just going to share my screen because it's escalated even more than that, which is hilarious. So it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, so this escalated even more to Real Madrid want 86 million package for Rodrigo. Arsenal and 2 other top European clubs want the player. Okay, so we've now got an escalation from Fabrizio Romano saying that Real Madrid are going to speak to the player, to Real Madrid are willing to let the player go, to Real Madrid have now put a price on it. Okay, so this is now escalated to another level, which is interesting because this also ties in with Sasha Tavares' post, as in Luis Diaz's situation could influence Liverpool's approach in the market, while Rodrigo, as explained on Saturday, made Premier League his priority. Despite Al Nassr approach, LFC could move for the Brazilian and compete with Arsenal if they end up losing Diaz, who are also keen to keep. One to watch. This is now escalated from it's wild, isn't it? Like, we went in for Rodrigo and we went in for Rodrigo and we also didn't want to lose Diaz. Like, we all know that. Okay, so that was never in the equation. The equation was never to lose Diaz and to sign Rodrigo, which is why I keep on saying opportunistic is what this is. And if you go by the last opportunistic signing, we made it happen, which was Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz was never in the equation. He was never a player that Liverpool, at the end of the season, sat down with Arne Slot and went, okay, so should we name some players that we're going to go and sign? Florian Wirtz was not a name that would have come up. It was not a name that would have come up because he wasn't a go-gettable player. He was going to go to either Bayern or Manchester City or Real Madrid. And same with Rodrigo. Rodrigo wasn't going to leave Real Madrid. Not after last season. Like, so this is the interesting thing. We've already proven that we can do opportunistic signings out of the blue, and we don't need to replace a player. We can sign an extra man, which is what we did with Wirtz. So what I'm trying to say is, I would not be surprised if we just gone and got that deal done. We just go and sign Rodrigo and we blow the others out the water, and then we can then sit there and go, okay, what do we do with Diaz? All right, let's work out the calculations. How much money do we need to offset? Like, I don't see it being a problem. I just don't. 86 million is way too much. But you have to ask the question. He was 130 million last season. So is 86 million that much? Like, is it really that much? Like, do you put Rodrigo in the same category as who else would cost 86 million for a winger? Who else would cost 86 million for a winger? You wouldn't get Barcola for 86 million. Obviously, you wouldn't get. Would you get Leao for 86 million? Who else are you classing for 86 million as a winger? How much would Martinelli cost? How much would Martinelli cost? How much did Matoma get turned down? That's what I mean. That's the question you need to ask yourself. Look, Bayer Leverkusen wanted 150 million euros, which is about 130 million quid, yeah, for Florian Wirtz. We paid 100 million quid. Paid 100 million quid. And he's got add-ons. I get it. Not much, but he's got add-ons. You don't think we can do a deal for Rodrigo? You don't think we could offer 65 million and add-ons? Takes it up to 86. You don't think that's a deal that can be done where we spend 50 million and give them Canate? They want Canate. And I haven't shared that yet, but they want Canate. We were willing to spend 80 million on Gordon. Big up Mohammed. We were willing to spend 80 million on Gordon. I think people are underrating Rodrigo's price, if I'm completely honest. Is Rodrigo better than Jack Grealish? Is Rodrigo better than Morgan Gibbs-White? Is Rodrigo better than Morgan Rogers? Is Rodrigo better than Cunha? Like, is he better than Alanga? And how much better is he than those signings? How much better is Rodrigo than a Kudus? Because Kudus went for 55. João Pedro went for 65. This is you have to ask yourself this question. You're signing a player that's won multiple Champions Leagues, multiple leagues, multiple. I'm talking 3, 4. We're talking a pedigree winner of a player who's won everything. He hasn't won the World Cup, I don't think, but he's won everything at every level. And he's been influential in winning for a number of years, and he's still only 24. I think an 86 million pound deal for Rodrigo works. And I think if you can get him for 70, which is the same as Eze, someone's just put in the chat, then what are we doing here? Fofana is going to be 60. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing if we're not putting the money on the table for Rodrigo and working out a deal? That's all I've got to say on the matter. All I've got to say on the matter. Taking my camera off again because this is crap. Like, this is rubbish. This I might have to end up with another system because this just doesn't work for me. Keep on lagging. Anyway, so what else have I got to share with you? Well, I might as well share this tidbit because this, for me, could potentially tie in to the Rodrigo deal. This could potentially tie into the Rodrigo deal. I'm turning my camera off again because it's ass. It's absolute ass right now. It's ridiculous. Okay, so you've got Canate. Now, we've had this conversation already to talk about Canate. And look, it's just, it really is just, it's a simple fact of he sees Liverpool as a stepping stone and he feels he should be more valued. And I see that as selfish. I see that as selfishness. I see that as a player that's not team player, and I don't know. It just looks like a system where it looks like a slot system is something that needs everybody to buy into, and it needs everyone to be unselfish and just work as a team cohesively and not have individuals. And Canate is starting to sound like someone who probably should go to Real Madrid if he's got that attitude, because Real Madrid have a lot of those players like that. And if you look at the way Real Madrid played against PSG, then there was a lot of individuals on that pitch, and they got their asses handed to them because nobody was working as a team. So that's how I see it. That is straight up how I see it. Someone super? No, okay. Sorry. I thought someone had super chatted. So that's how I see it. And if we look at it, if we look at the article, which is from Dario, Canate is at the top of the shortlist for Real Madrid as they set their eyes on a free transfer in 2026. Canate only wants Real Madrid and has no intention of renewing. A summer move is not ruled out, but Madrid won't bid more than 17 to 21 million. Well, isn't that interesting? Because we could do with a little bit of a bump towards that 86 million, and Canate could definitely be that bump, couldn't he? If we're going to lose him on a free, we might as well lose him to get Rodrigo over the line, mightn't we? That's how I see it. And it does look like it could be his last season, or if not his last season now, it could be the last we see of him. It's a crazy transfer window, if you ask me, because I genuinely don't think that we thought we were going to lose Luis Diaz and Canate in this window. I can guarantee that the club never planned for that to happen. We all know that Darwin Núñez and Chiesa were going to go. We all know that, and we all know Trent was going to go, and potentially Harvey Elliott and Tyler Morton. You know, a lot of the fringe players. But I don't think we planned that we were going to lose our first choice left winger and our first choice centre back. I just don't see that was ever in the equation. And you can talk about 17 to 21 million, but I think we could probably get near 30 off Real Madrid, and that will go towards Rodrigo if we do push that button. And I don't see why we wouldn't. If Diaz goes, Rodrigo's a perfect replacement. He just is. And if everybody thinks that Wirtz is going to be that number 10, then he's going to be that number 10. And then Rodrigo plays as the first team left winger, which would be good for him because he's never done it. And he's also backup for Mo Salah when he goes to AFCON, because Cody can then come in and do a job on the left. So it makes a lot of sense. And they're young players, 24. So, and obviously Wirtz is 22. So it makes a lot of sense. So I think we were probably willing to play Canate for another year. And I also think we were willing to play Diaz for another year. And I feel like we were going to take Guehi on a free next year, and Canate was then going to leave us on a free. And I felt like that was the merry-go-round that was going to happen. But it doesn't look like it's going to work out like that. It doesn't look like it's going to work out like that. And that's probably because of the Luis Diaz situation, where we're going to need a new left winger. And that then ties into, well, instead of spending 86 million on Rodrigo, we could use Canate as a bargaining chip and get more money for Canate, but it will be more money that goes to Real Madrid in the Rodrigo deal. But if we let Rodrigo go to Arsenal with no pushback, I just don't understand that. I just don't understand it. When we flew to Brazil to try and sign him when he was at Santos, like, we went to Brazil to get him from Santos. So we clearly wanted him then. And he's had a brilliant career at Real Madrid, won loads of trophies, played like 180 games or something. It just makes a lot of sense that we could use Canate as a bargaining chip and we can get Rodrigo out because he doesn't want to be there. Simple as that. Guarantee first team football at Liverpool as a first choice left winger. He's also 2 years younger than Cody. I rate Cody, by the way, but Cody can be our cup player. Cody can be that guy. He's done it. He's been there, done it. Like, he could be that guy. He's still got 3 years left on his contract. Then maybe when Cody's 27 next year, we then maybe move Cody on. I don't know. But it makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. And Liverpool make a lot of sense now. Like, we don't do dumb stuff. What else have I got for you? I obviously want to bring this one up, which is the Guehi information. Willing to run out his deal. This one will probably drive the price down. If he's not signed already, which I think he is, by the way, I think we've already got this deal done. Then I just don't see how you can demand 50 million for a player that's got a year left on his contract and is willing to run his contract down. I just don't see how you can demand 50 million. I can't. If Real Madrid are offering 20 million for Canate, then we're absolutely within our rights to offer 35 million for Guehi. Like, I think we'll get Guehi for 35, 40 million. I think that's a deal that will happen. I just do. And if Eze's looking at moving, then you've got Ben Doak or Harvey Elliott there. But it does look like Harvey Elliott could potentially go to Brighton. They are genuinely looking at pulling the trigger on 40 million for Elliott, and they're clearing out their team. Like, they're selling loads of players. Adringa's just gone. Ousmane's just gone. They're looking to get rid of Matt Riley. They've obviously sold João Pedro. They're looking to thin their squad out and get rid of a lot of their fringe players. And that's clearly to put space in the team to sign some more. And Harvey Elliott will probably be that player. And he'll do well at Brighton. He'll do well. What else have we got for you? So let me close that. Sasha Tovoli, we'll close that. And this one I've already talked about. This is the Marseille. So this is Marseille talking about Canate. After the French international turned down a second offer, Canate must decide whether to renew his contract or take a real challenge at Real Madrid. So we know that now. Alexander Arnold ended up bringing in 8.4 million. This is Sean Wright Phillips talking about it. So who cares? Okay, so I think this is quite interesting. So I'll show you this. So this is on Transfermarkt. So obviously the news broke about Canate. Liverpool set to sell Ibrahim Canate, 5 defenders that could replace the want-away star. So this was yesterday. This was today in the morning. Okay, so that's the deal. 75%. It looks like that will happen. We either sell him or we play him for another year. I don't know what we're going to do there. But the rumours of the players coming in to replace him, which I'll show you on here, which I can't because my screen's completely frozen. No, okay. So you got Mark Guehi, You've got Zabani, which obviously isn't going to happen because I think they've turned down 40, 50 million now from PSG. You've got Hincapié. He's not going to leave because Bayer Leverkusen have lost so many players. They're not going to sell anymore. You've got Antonio Silva. I don't think we're going to go for him. And you've got Joel Ordonez, who is a very good player, but Club Brugge have sold about 4 players already this season. So I don't think that's going to happen either. So it does just look like Guehi. It really does. I also want to bring this one up as well, which was an interesting. Where is it? Let me just close that. I've frozen again. Yeah. So Canate not interested in Atletico Madrid. So apparently Atletico Madrid offered 40 million euros for Canate recently, and we turned it down. So there clearly is money. Canate turned it down because he wants to go to Real Madrid. So there clearly is a willingness to maybe sell him. Otherwise, Atletico Madrid wouldn't have come in. They just wouldn't have come in. They would not have come in to try and sign him. So that's another one. Also, this one is quite interesting because this is to talk about the young centre back that we're potentially looking at, because there's a number of rumours around. Obviously Guehi, but then is there going to be anybody else? Because if Canate goes, Guehi replaces Canate, and then obviously someone will need to replace Quansah. So this guy has been linked. Oh, I haven't seen that one before. So this guy's been linked. His name is Giovanni Leone. He plays for Parma. Parma have got some good players, by the way. So he's an 18-year-old. He's had 17 league games in a breakout season, and he's looked very good. And there's a lot of teams that are looking at him. Newcastle, Tottenham are all looking at him, and he's available for around 13 million, which makes a lot of sense. If we were going to replace Quansah and we were going to keep Canate for another year. But I just feel like the Diaz situation has really probably put a stick in it, and it's like a stick in the spoke of a tire, and it's really just held us up, and we're like, oh no, what are we going to do now? So I think that's an interesting one. What's that? Canate's not going anywhere. That news is fake, like majority of the so-called transfer news. It's 3 really, really reputable media outlets. Like Marca have talked about it. And I know you can say what you want about Marca, but Marca were right about Trent. Marca were right about Trent. Like you can say all you want about Marca, but they went wrong. Trent left us. And they said he was. There's no smoke without fire, and I think he goes. So this is the kid anyway that we're interested in. 12 million sounds like a good deal. There's also, I also wanted to bring up the Luis Diaz piece, which I find really interesting. Is Max Eberl said in an interview, where is it? Max Eberl said in an interview that Luis Diaz is willing to put in a transfer request to leave. Hang on, where is that? Diaz submits transfer request. Okay. Dave O.C. Cop doesn't go out on a limb with stuff like this. He just doesn't. Okay. Bayern offered 45 million. Well, he's available for 60, I think. So they'll have to come back. But they will. They will come back because they're getting desperate. Like, they're getting desperate. Losing Musiala and Sane has really put a dampener on what they need to do. And they also know that Barcelona want him as well. And it's just a case of who pays the most. It really is just a case of who pays the most. I'm sorry, but the guy's going. Like, the guy's going. He's not staying. There's no way Luis Diaz stays at Liverpool now. There's no way Luis Diaz stays at Liverpool after clearly saying that he wants to leave the club. Like, I don't want him. I don't want him at the club. Like, I don't want players at the club that don't want to stay. Like, I don't want Canate. I don't want Luis Diaz. I don't want Darwin Núñez. Like, I don't want Chiesa. Chiesa said he wants to go back to Italy. You go back to Italy then. Like, if you're not here for the cause, then you can go. Like, we move on. Like, and we can be better without them. Like, it's been proven that we can be better without players. Like, we've done it over and over again. Like, so if Luis Diaz is handed, then Luis Diaz can leave. Like, and we'll get money for him. We will get money for him. We will get money for all these players because they are sought after players. They are sought after players. Like, Man City are about to sell two of their midfielders for like maybe 25 million for both. Like, maybe they get 25 million for both. Like, we're going to sell our fringe midfielder for 50 million. We sold our fringe centre-back for 40 million. Like, Liverpool have players that have value. They have value and teams want them, which is why the likes of Barcelona, your Real Madrids, Atletico Madrids, Napoli's, Bayern Munich's, all clubs that have won the league, all clubs that have won their leagues, like, want these players. It's the reason why. The reason why Al Nassr won a load of our players, but unfortunately they don't want to go to Saudi Arabia. But we would happily sell them. We would happily sell them because they'd offer the money. And they won't get their man. They won't get their man, just like they didn't get Nico Williams, because they have to pay up and they have to be fair. And Barcelona are selling players. Like, you can look at Barcelona's transfer business and they are selling players. They're not selling great players, but they're selling their young players, and they're slowly recuperating money back into the coffers. And they're going to come again for for Diaz. They're going to come again for Diaz. And Bayern Munich have got money. They've got money. All right. They were willing to spend 100 million on Wirtz. They've got money. And they're about to sell Kim Min-jae. And once he goes, they'll get another 30 million, 40 million for him. And they've lost too many players. They've lost Muller, they've lost Musiala, and they've lost Sane. All on the wings. All players that play wide. They have a problem. They need a replacement. And I feel like Luis Diaz is going to be that replacement. Anyway, Who else have we got? What else do we want to talk about? Right. So Luis Diaz in talks with Bayern. Let me share my screen. I'll do this one. Luis Diaz talks with Bayern. Where are we? Here. Luis Diaz in talks with Bayern as German sources back up transfer claim. Okay, that's from Florian Plettenberg. He's been pretty bang on, to be honest, with everything. So they're in talks. Barcelona are understood to also made his signing a priority. What we want right now, is we would love a bidding war. We would love a bidding war. That would be the dream for Liverpool. That would be the dream for Liverpool, to have a bidding war between Bayern and Barca. But it just isn't going to happen, because Barca are skint and Bayern Munich are tight. And they messed up the Wirtz deal because they were tight, because they didn't put the money where their mouth was. If they'd just gone in with the money that they wanted, they'd have probably got Wirtz months and months before we even spoke to him. But they didn't. So this is what they need to do. And what we can look at is we can actually look at Barcelona's player sales. We can look at Barcelona player sales. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look at what business these guys have done this window. Okay. So they've signed Joan Garcia for 25 million euros. They have money. And they brought a youngster from the youth team in. And they've sold Alex Vale to Como for 6 million and a load of free transfers. So they really haven't recuperated anything. But they did sell Victor Roque for 25, Mikal Fay for 10, Julian Araujo for 10, Chiad Raleigh for 9, 6, 3. They made 66 million last year. And they spent 57. So Barca are not in any state. They're not in any state to really put the money where their mouth is, to be honest. So I just don't see a place where Barca can buy him. Like, they've given Szczesny a new deal. And I know Marc-Andre ter Stegen was looking at moving to Turkey to get him off their books, but he turned that down. Maybe they'll try and get rid of Garcia. They're trying to get rid of Christensen, but I don't think they'll get any money for him. He's only worth 12 million. Martinez isn't worth any money. Who have they got? Like, they haven't got a huge amount of players to sell to actually make any money. Like Fermin Lopez, yeah, we've been linked with him. Pablo Torre, they're trying to get rid of, but he's only worth 6 million. And then you've got the big boys. Rafinha, he's not going. Lamal's not going. Ferran Torres, maybe they'll try and sell him. Robert Lewandowski, he's going to give them one more year. But Barcelona haven't got a lot of players to make money from. Like, they just haven't. Like, they're not going to sell any of these. Like, all of those right down to your Frankie de Jongs would not be up for sale. Maybe Torres, maybe Araujo, but Araujo's come out and said that he's staying at Barcelona. Maybe Casado, Mark Casado, maybe, but he's another youngster that's highly rated, so maybe they want to keep him. And then all the rest are just kids that aren't worth a lot of money. So I don't see where Barca are spending dosh. Should we have a look at Bayern? Should we have a look at Bayern Munich? Okay, so let's have a look at Bayern Munich. Am I still sharing my screen? Yeah, I am. Okay. So let's have a look at Bayern Munich. So what have Bayern Munich got? Right. So let's have a look at their transfers, current season's transfers, Bayern Munich's. Right. So they got Jonathan Tah for 2 million. They got Bishkov for 300k, and that's it. They haven't spent any money. Income, they got 35 for Tell, which just happened. So there's money there. Kratzig, they got 3.5 million, and Vidovic, they got 1.2 million. So they've got 39 million in and spent 2 million. And they need, so they got rid of Dyer and they got rid of Sane, and obviously Muller, they let go, and also Ulrich they let go. So they have got money, but have they got anybody that they're going to sell? So we need to look at their team. Musiala's out now for ages. Elise staying, Kane staying, Pavlovic. He's a replacement for one of their midfielders, Goitzke, who could go. He could go. Upamecano staying. Davies is staying. Kimmich is staying. Kim Min-jae they may sell. He's worth 40 million, so they might get a bit of money for him. Stanic might go. He's worth 30 million. Taj just come in. Kingsman signed a new contract. Kingsley Coman signed a new contract. Pellini is possibly going on loan. They might get money for him. Conrad Lehmer staying. I don't know who he is, but he's staying. Goitze they could sell. Gnabry they could sell. Sasha Bowie, I think, could be getting sold. So there's players that could leave. Guerrero's worth not a lot of money. Brian Zaragoza is going. They might get money for him. He's been promoted to the first team. He's a hell of a talent, him, by the way. Johan Kusa Azar, he is going to be an absolute star. Telling you, keep an eye out on him. He's Swedish as well. He is another Alexander Isak in the making, but he's just 18. Keep an eye out for that kid. He is going to be a monster in the future. So you have to look at their club, and there's not a huge amount of players that could be sold, and there isn't a huge amount of players that are going to make them a lot of money. So then you have to look at Liverpool. So it's probably worth looking at the lower side of the numbers for Liverpool, because these are the players that will probably leave. So you've got Reece Williams. He's not worth much money. So maybe we can get $1 million for him. I don't know. Pesky's come in. He was almost $1 million. Calvin Ramsey, maybe we could get some money for him. Maybe $2 million for him. Freddie Woodman came in on a free. Tyler Morton, that's a possibility. Maybe we can get 10 million for him. Endo, maybe we can get 10 million for him. And then you're down to like Bajcetic. There's no point selling him. You're not going to get more than 10, 15 million for him. Chiesa, maybe you can get 10 million. Ben Doak, we're looking for 20 million, 25. Andy Robinson, we were looking for 10 million. Simicast, we were looking for 15 million. And then you're looking at Gomez. Like, Gomez is rated at 20 million euros. Like, I don't think there's any point in selling him. He's too versatile. Harvey Elliott, we're looking for 40. We might get 50. And then you go down the list, and we're trying to get 50 million for Nunes, and then we're trying to get 70 million for Diaz, and that's it. Like, Liverpool have players with value. A lot of the other clubs just don't. They just don't. And these links just aren't going away. They just aren't going away, these links. Okay? So what I want to show you as well is I want to show you this, which I thought was really, really interesting, because I know a lot of people are poo-pooing the media. This is Liverpool FC. This is the Liverpool FC website. Okay? In case you didn't know, Liverpool FC website post news on their website. And why would you do that? Why would you post news on your website if that news was fake? And the majority of the news that I wanted to show you, which has been on the website, and the last time they updated the website was on the 3rd of July, is all about Guehi. It's all about Guehi. Liverpool need to be delicate to Palace with Guehi. And then the next one before that is Alexander Isak. And then the next one before that is Guehi. And then the next one before that is Alexander Isak. And then you've got Kirkez signing. I think we need to realise that things are afoot. And Liverpool are posting about Isak on their own website. Liverpool are posting about Guehi on their own website. Like, you wouldn't do that if there was nothing in it. You wouldn't put that on your own website for the fans to go and view, and then for nothing to happen. Like, this is what we need to look at now, because I think this is the time where there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and there's clubs making moves, and this merry-go-round with Osimhen going to Turkey, Nunes going to Italy, and then Ekitike going to England. That could be Isak coming to Liverpool. And then the Rodrigo situation that just appeared from nowhere. I think the 3 deals which are left to do is Guehi, Rodrigo, and Isak. And I feel they come in that order. And Nunes goes, Diaz goes, and Konate goes. And 2 of them were not planned. 2 of them were not planned. But I feel like they're going to happen. And I feel like Liverpool are going to have the most incredible rebuild we have ever seen in our lifetime. And some of it wasn't due to happen for another year or 2. But we've had to move fast. We can talk about the money. We can talk about the money. We can talk about the money all day long. But Liverpool's transfer spend, if we got Isak and Rodrigo and Guehi and sold all the players that we're looking to sell, our transfer spend is still only 200 million. It doesn't change. We've already spent 200 million. But if you add all the players, you add them all up, and we can go on the calculator if you want. We can get the calculator out. So we can start calculating how much we've made. We can start with the first player we sold. So we can sit there and go, Okay, 18 million for Gallagher. That's done. Then we can talk about 10 million for Trent. That's done. Then we can talk about 3 million for Nat Phillips. That's done. Then we can talk about 35 million for Guehi. For Kwanzaa. That's done. That's 66 million already. 66 million already. Okay. And then we can start talking about the other players that we're potentially going to sell. So do we say we sell Harvey Elliott for 40? Shall we be fair and say 40 million? Plus 40 million for Harvey Elliott. And then let's put a 50 million price tag on Nunes. 50 million for Nunes. And let's just be conservative and say 60. We'll say 60 for Diaz. And then should we just throw other players into the mix? Yeah. Okay, Kumas, 5 million. What about Chiesa? 10 million. And then Doak, 20 million. And then Morton, 10 million. Who else are we throwing in? Are we throwing any other players in? Are we throwing any other players in? Shall we throw some of the fringe players in? Like, what about Ramsey? Do you think we'll get maybe 1 million, 2 million for Ramsey? So let's just say we get 2 million for Ramsey. Yeah. What if we get 5 million for Owen Beck? It's potentially money for Owen Beck there, because if Owen Beck gets sold, we probably get 5 million for him, plus 5 million for Owen Beck, and then maybe 1 million for Williams, Reece Williams. Okay. It's 269 million. 269 million. The transfer spend was supposed to be 200 million. We pay that back and we buy Rodrigo and Isaac and Guehi. The money's there. We haven't even looked at Kostas Tsimikas, you're right. Plus 15 million for Kostas. It's there. We haven't looked at Endo. Maybe Endo goes. Maybe we get 10 million for Endo. I'm looking at near the 300 million mark now. I'm looking at near the 300 million mark. I really am. And I didn't want to say this, but we probably will get about 30 million for Jota off insurance. We probably will get between 25 to 30 million off Jota for insurance. We're now into the 300 millions. We're now cutting in to the 200 million that we just spent. We're now cutting into that. We're now taking that down to under 150, like lower than 150. And then you've got Adidas sponsorship. Then you've got the money we're going to get from the Asia tour. You know, you've got all these other things that go into the mix. 80 million we made from the Champions League. You've got 180 million that we made from winning the league. Like, all of these things go into the mix. And it's simple. 130 to 150 gets you Isaac, and 86 million gets you Rodrigo. And I didn't even talk about Canate. I didn't even mention Canate sale. Canate sale could take it up to 350 million. And that's the question. That's the question. People say we haven't got money. We have assets. We have players that we can sell, and Arsenal can't sell shit. Man United are giving players away. Chelsea and Arsenal seem to be doing some weird transfers, which definitely needs to be looked at. Like, Newcastle, Aston Villa were doing some weird transfers. Like, so the money is there. The money is there. Like, Don't be fooled. We have money. Oh, okay. Wow, this is just popped up. It's just non-stop. Like, it is literally just non-stop. There is so much going on with Liverpool right now. It's quite mind-bending. Like, we've never had transfer activity like this in our lifetime. So Bayern Munich making £44 million offer for Liverpool forward Luis Diaz. That one's interesting. And the reason why I say it is, and we're going to reject this bid, by the way. We're going to reject this bid. Okay, that's going to get rejected. But the question is, the offers are coming in. The money is being offered to us. Whether we take it or not is irrelevant, but the money is there. And if your Isaacs and your Rodrigos need money to spend on them, you may just have to go, we're just going to bite the bullet and take a 5 million loss. We can't fight this one. We need to get that guy over the line. And Luis Diaz is going. Like, that's it. Like, it's going. Like, I'm saying it now. I'm putting my hat in the air and nailing it to the table. Luis Diaz will not be a Liverpool player next season. He won't. He's gone. Darwin Núñez will not be a Liverpool player next season. He's gone. They are only 5-10 million away from being able to get these deals done, and maybe throw another 10 million in add-ons. These deals will be done. They will. And they are big clubs that want them. Bayern Munich want Diaz. He'll go. Napoli want Darwin Núñez. He'll go. They both had bids rejected. So they'll come back. They're not going to go away. They'll come back. They want these players. These players are going to be key assets for them in the future. And they're both going to clubs that win trophies. Napoli won the league. Bayern Munich won the league. They're both going to be fighting it out in the Champions League next season at top clubs. Liverpool will make these deals happen. Do not worry about it. And this money will be spent wisely. And it's going on two people. It's going on two people. It's going on Rodrigo and it's going on Isaac. That's what's happening. Okay. I've done an hour 13. Do I want to do any more? I don't really want to do any more, if I'm completely honest. It's really hot in this room. Absolutely boiling. And I haven't got much more to report. But we will be lowballed. We will be lowballed. It's going to happen. Like, we do it. Like, are we really that bothered? Like, we do it. Like, what have we just done to buy Leverkusen? Like, what have we just done to Bournemouth? Bournemouth wanted 45 million for Kirkes, and we got Kirkes for probably under 35 million in the end. You know, they wanted 150 million euros for Wirtz. We got him for 100 million, 120 million euros. Like teams try to pay less for players. It's how it is. It's just how it is. Like, Darwin Núñez is not worth 50 million quid, if you ask me. He's not. But we want 50 million quid and we'll get it. They're only 5 million short. Like, we will get that money. I don't think Luis Diaz is worth 70 million. I genuinely don't. I think he's worth around 55, maybe 60 most. So all they need to do is put another 15 million on the table and I think we'll accept it. And do you really think Isak's worth 130 million? Like, genuinely? Is Alexander Isak worth 130 million? If we know that we can't lowball Newcastle, then we can't be lowballed on our two players that we're selling because we know we're going to have to get the money to do it. And we're probably not going to be able to lowball Real Madrid for Rodrigo. So we're probably going to have to pay the money for him. So this money has to come from somewhere. So we can't be ripped off for Diaz and Nunes. And we won't. But I don't think we're going to sell these players for the 120 million that we want back. I think we might get around 110 to 100. And I think it's getting to a stage where we need to start selling assets. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to get our final targets, which are Guehi, Rodrigo, and Isaac. Okay, that's it. And there's plenty of players that we're probably going to have to move on. And you're going to start seeing a lot of activity around outgoings, because this is what was planned. We were waiting for the next PSR window to come in, so we then had another raft of money to spend. But this is all about getting the players out of the club so we can replace them with players that are going to take up their spots. Because at the moment, we don't have any non-homegrown spots. They're all gone. They're all taken. We need to start moving these guys out, because your Isak's not homegrown. Certainly your Rodrigo's not homegrown. Guehi is. That's not a problem. And that's what we need to start doing. All right. Okay. Right. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe, please do. Let me just check what I'm on, numbers wise, and I'm going to divert you to another channel. 2 seconds. Because I'm absolutely boiling in here. I would do another 10-15 minutes, but I'm frying in here. Henry Talks and Terry Views are live right now, and yeah, they're going crazy about potential Isaac and Rodrigo. They're going crazy about it, by the way. I've just seen it, so that's making me laugh. Oh, and there's 96 people have liked. Can I have another 4, please? Can I have another 4 likes? I would really appreciate that. So I've got 100 likes on this video. That would be great. I'm actually going to divert you over to oh, hang on, is that for tonight? No, it's not. Let me just divert you 2 seconds. Who's live? No. Right, I don't see anyone else live apart from the Football Terrace. So I'm going to divert. Actually, Never a Foul alive, so I'll divert you over to them. So I'm sending you over to Never a Foul, okay? So go and check them out. Go and watch the meltdown, which is hilarious. Go and watch the meltdown of everybody melting down over Liverpool potentially signing Rodrigo and Isaac, because that's just comedy. That's comedy gold. Watching all the fans melt down over this. Wow, 112 of you liked. Amazing. Big up. Really appreciate that. Also, I'm just going to do a quick shout out to some of the members: Scottish Bear, Polo Mint, Mr. Sky Blue, Morton, John, Fireburn, YNWA. Who else we got? IBR Stella, Christy Dickew, not seen you before. Good to have you on board. Loads of members in there. Remember, member show is going to be on Sunday at 9 p.m. I will post up the link, whatever it is. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head now. Mine's gone blank because of the heat. I can't think of it. What's it called? The picture with the information on. What's that called? Can you put it in the chat? I forgot what that's called. Screenshot? Oh, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. My mind's gone blank. anyway, I'm going to do that show. I might be on Hussam's show tomorrow. I don't know. If I am on Hussam's show tomorrow, I will do a show after him, so you can all join. But I don't know if I'm on Hussam's show. That's not confirmed yet. But you have a lovely evening, and you go over to Never a Foul and watch them melt over Liverpool, which is lovely. It's lovely to see. And get in the chat and put KMack Raid. I'm just going to write that there. You can put KMack Raid, or you can put Liverpool meltdown thumbnail. That's it, Mikey. Thumbnail. Simple as that. Thumbnail. Yeah. So put in KMack Raid. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm on the road to 1,500. Also, if you want to become a member, it's £1. So join and have fun. And I'm going to be posting up a video of the Anfield parade. I'm going to post a video up of the Anfield parade this weekend, so you can see that. Because I went there and I was right in the middle of it. I got pyro poisoning, but it was amazing. I'm probably going to live like 5 years less because of it, but it was amazing. So I'm going to put that video in the members video, and also go and check out my last show, which was Rabbit Hole Part 1. If you haven't, that's really good. It's 2 hours long now, but get into that one. And I will see you all either tomorrow or on Sunday. You all take care. Go and watch. Go and write KMack Raid, and then give them so much abuse about Liverpool signing all these players in the chat. Peace. See you later. Bye bye.